Hello everybody, my name is Greg Poole, aka Big GP, and I am an archery nerd. Say hi to Mike. Anyway, I am an archery nerd, and I am here to finally talk to you at length about the ACU Archery SOS. Now, I've been shooting the SOS for a little while now, and yeah, I guess if you don't want to watch this whole video, all I will say is this: GP approved. But now we're going to get into the nitty gritty. And so when I say I'm an archery nerd, I just am. I don't have the cool, well, I do have the cool glasses. I just don't have any tape in the middle. But what I wanted to talk about first, before we get into the actual usage side of the SOS, is technology. And I know in our space we see some, new things come and go, but some of the new things are actually based in science, and they're used in other realms, and this SOS is no different. And so I have in my ear an earbud. If I put in both, they have noise canceling technology. And so who out there knows how noise canceling technology actually works? I know you're probably sitting there going, what the hell does noise canceling headphones have to do with the SOS? A lot. And here's why. Obviously with one it doesn't work, but noise canceling headphones use a technology called destructive interference. What that means is whatever sound or frequencies are coming in, the product actually creates the counter or the opposite of that frequency, and they cancel each other. Boop. They cancel each other. So hold on to that thought, because that's going to be a reoccurring theme here. And so one of the other things that I want to talk about, so we have destructive interference when it comes to noise canceling headphones, but that same methodology transfers over to many, many other things, including the SOS. And so the second thing that I want to kind of talk to you guys about is the difference between amplitude and frequency. No, I'm not an electrician. I just play one on the radio, but it's very, very important. This is something that I learned. You hear me pronounce that right? Important? Jeez Louise. My English teacher would be proud. But the difference is this. Frequency is how close together the signals are. Amplitude is how far they travel each direction. Obviously, there's going to be a quick cut right here, and you're going to see this graphic. So that graphic shows you the difference between frequency and amplitude. Frequency, bzzz, amplitude, ah, get it? So they're the same distance apart, but one travels up and down a lot more. So the higher the amplitude, the more it travels up and down. The frequency is how close together they are. So as we go to discuss this, when we're talking about archery and stabilization, which I've been blessed and cursed to, be involved with for a while now, I will talk to people about the frequency of their movement, meaning, are you holding dead in the X and it's just kind of shaking there in the middle? That is frequency. Amplitude would be, what's the amplitude of your movements? Are you sitting there and it's going boop, boop, boop? Big movements. Big movements is amplitude. How close they are together is frequency. No one cares if the dot sits in the middle and it just buzzes. Low amplitude, not big movements. No one cares about the frequency. And I don't care if you're Bodie Turner, Matthias, Chance Bobeff, Jesse Broadwater, some of the greats that have held ridiculously good. Their dots will sit in the middle, and they'll just kind of vibrate in the middle. Frequency is okay. Amplitude, the big movements, not so much. And so I wanted to explain that as I kind of geek out towards my explanation of how I envision. And look, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have not watched all of ACU Archery's SOS videos. So if I'm repeating something that SOS has already talked about, I guess that's okay. The more the merrier. But so it's important to understand how destructive interference works with headphones, because it's all frequency. Now we're talking about the frequency, how close together they are, and the amplitude that you saw in that fancy graphic right there. One other thing that I want to show you is getting closer and closer to how the SOS is actually functioning in this capacity. Now, like it or not, and I don't care if you're watching any archer, when they're at full draw and you're like, they're not even moving, their bow's not even moving. Yes, it is. You just can't see it. But there's always a frequency, like it's not a frequency like amplitude, it's not big amplitude movements, but there's always a frequency. Recurve, compound, doesn't matter. There is some frequency coming through the body, through the bow, through everything under tension. There's some sort of frequency. And so right now, I am going to show you a video of what they do to prevent power lines from basically shaking themselves into oblivion. Same goes for suspension bridges and all of that. But basically what it is they attach a weight to the power line that is shaking, and the weight is held on, and then the weight is suspended by cables, just like the SOS. And that weight, now obviously this is something that they've already worked out, but the weight actually interferes or creates a different the opposite vibration of what the power line is doing, and then the power line stops shaking. So let's check out that video right now. Okay, so as you can see, just attaching those weights suspended by cables on that power line absolutely changed the entire amplitude of the movement. Now the frequency is still there, like it's still just barely moving. So the frequency is there, but the amplitude completely nullified it. So now that I've either got your attention or you already turned off this video because I'm a stupid nerd and you don't want to hear this crap, now we're going to get into how that works for this particular product in our world. Now, I will admit, Eric talked to me about this, earlier this year, and, I just didn't get around to it, but he sent me a couple, and I just got to tell you, there is more than something here. To call the SOS a stabilization device, it falls way short of truly getting into what this product is capable of. And so one of the things, I took off my back bar so I don't knock over the tripod or knock over anything else. But now that we kind of understand, well, understand's a relative term, but now that we see the difference between frequency and amplitude, we saw the video of a power line that was just shaking out of control. They attached a weight with cables, with weights, and it nullified that. So this product basically does the same thing. And so when we start talking about frequency and amplitude, as far as archery goes, amplitude, you don't even see this move. Big amplitude. But if we start talking about frequency, tight frequency, I'm just shaking the bow. It's not moving a whole lot, but you see the SOS is absolutely functioning as intended on these suspended cables. Now, as far as the tension of the cables go, the orientation of them, there is some things about the SOS that will allow you to quote unquote tune it. The spacing between these is not the same. So if you look right now, if I pull it left to right, see how much it moves? Now if I pull it up and down, much looser. So it's a lot looser on the up and down plane than the left and right plane for me. For me. Now, I did orient it the other way for about 2 shots. And I was like, nope, that is not the jam. That is not the jam at all. It literally, you can tell instantly that was not what was going to work for me. I took one of the other brackets, I put it off the side over here. So for me, right off the front here worked spectacularly. Now, similar to what we saw with the power line video, the amount of weight is directly proportional to the tool, in this case, the SOS, the tool's ability to create a frequency that will offset what's happening in the actual, product. And in this case, it's a bow. In the video, it was a power line. So when I went down in weight, it did not work nearly as well. As a matter of fact, not only did my frequency increase, but my amplitude did too. I got bigger movements because there wasn't enough weight to offset the frequencies and the amplitude I was putting in the bow because I don't aim like I used to. So that is one thing. So I went back to the amount of weight that came on it, and I can tell you right now, it absolutely works. I can, am I going to sit here and tell you that your bow will be dead in the hand with? I don't necessarily feel a whole lot of difference in the shot. I mean, this bow's pretty dead on the shot for me anyway. But visually, I could tell immediately. And I'm not a new as neat guy. For those of you that have been following me for a while, I'm not a new as neat guy. As a matter of fact, at all. I'm quite the opposite. I mean, I just changed sights and I was shooting a sight that was 8 years old. So I'm not a new as neat kind of guy. But I can tell you right now, the efficacy of this product is absolutely verifiable. And so I have not put more weight on here. One of the things that I do want to talk about is, look, everybody has a mass weight consideration that they can actually handle for their bow. Even though I'm a big, strong dude, I couldn't shoot Paige Pierce's bow. It weighs too much. It's not a strength issue. It's a form and a type of shot issue. So when I put the SOS on and started shooting, I did have to raise my back bar a little bit. I didn't add any weight. I just raised the back bar enough, and that got me aiming to where I wasn't falling out the bottom, because this is a little bit of weight. And so putting it on the front of the bow is going to give the front a little bit more leverage. Now I noticed that even though I was kind of starting to dip out the bottom, my amplitude of movements was way less than it was. And so all I did was raise up the back bar a couple times, and the amplitude and the frequency of the movements, thanks to the SOS stayed, but now I could hold it in the middle better. So I've not changed anything on my back bar other than the height. Obviously, I did increase the total mass weight of my bow by, what is that, like 6 ounces maybe? But the benefits of this are absolutely huge. And so when we're talking about amplitude, that's big misses. Like, it's great if you're just holding in the middle and it's buzzing in the middle. You're not going to make, any misses or mistakes are not going to be huge. But if you already have big amplitude in your movement, a device like the SOS is totally going to help you. I mean, obviously we don't want to miss it all, but you're going to miss smaller. That's one thing that I have really noticed in my misses, which are plenty these days, but my misses are smaller. And so for me, that shows me a light at the end of the tunnel. Now, I've only been shooting this a couple of weeks. I made a post about it telling everybody I was trying it, but it took me a while to get to this point where I was like, yeah, this is something that needs to be discussed. It needs to be looked into. And so my mind went right away to the noise canceling headphones, devices on power lines, devices on suspended bridges, all that kind of stuff, to really understand that while yes, it does help you hold better, you can call it a stabilization device, but it's doing a lot more than you think it's doing. It's not just a different kind of bar. It's not just more or less weight. This product is actually doing something that sometimes you can't even see. I mean, I have filmed someone else using one of these, and during the shot, you can not even really see it move. On the shot, of course, you get the blah, 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 but it's still functioning just like the power line is still has that frequency in it. You just can't see it, but that doesn't mean it's not there. So that for me is one thing that has been it's been kind of mind-blowing, to tell you the truth. The fact that they were able to take a technology that is used in many, whether they even did it on purpose, I can't tell you. I haven't talked to the guy that invented this from inception. I might want to, but they were able to take a technology that is used successfully lots of other places, and they were able to implement it into archery, and it is absolutely the real deal. I know a lot of you out there are like, oh, it's just another gizmo. It's just no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. I don't sell gizmos. I mean, I'll feature cool stuff. Like the sight is cool. What else do I like? No, I'll feature cool things that are right. I don't I don't pitch snake oil, and I don't I don't do this for just anything. And I can tell you right now, this SOS is absolutely for real. Here's the thing though. You're not just going to slap it on your bow and it's just going to do its thing. You have to play with it. You have to move it around. You have to find out where it's best for you. And then you have to play with the weight. I can tell you one of the next things I'm going to do is I'm actually going to increase this weight. Now, me being a big sissy, my mass weight is, I got to be a little tight with it, because I just can't, I don't know, it's a long story, but I just can't handle the weight. It's not bad shoulders or it's not strength. It's just my shot. I just can't handle a heavy bow. I wish I could, but I can't. I've tried and I failed. It's great for like 3 shots and then it's not great at all. And so, but that is, kind of the long and short of this. They do have several versions. The other version I have is more of a hunting application. It has a bracket that can offset that, because not every hunting bow has multiple, mounting holes up front and all that kind of stuff. So you can put it behind a QD, you can put it off either side, you can do that whole thing. I will most certainly be running one on my hunting bow without question. Mainly because I see through my 4-power scope when I'm shooting normally my big fat Eastons indoors. You don't want to see through my pins when I'm shooting an animal. It's not good. It's not good. So anything that I can get to actually help me keep things a little bit calmer on target, even when I'm hunting, especially when I'm hunting, missing a piece of paper, it is what it is. But on an animal, it's even more important. So just wanted to make this video kind of nerd out a little bit, but that's kind of how my mind works. And I can tell you right now that the technology that's in this, from the noise canceling headphones to the weights on power lines and stuff, this is more than just a stabilization device. This has more to do with harmonics, if I'm going to be 100% honest with you. And I don't know, I didn't even read the stuff that came with it, if I'm just to tell you the truth. So Eric's probably going to kill me for that. I didn't even read the stuff that came with it. I just threw it on and I wanted to find out for myself. But this device is about harmonics. And the harmonics is provable by reorienting this and seeing how it feels, by changing the weight and seeing it. I can go down one weight and I'm like, nope, that ain't it. So the ability to offset harmonics that exist in the whole system yourself included, is not really something that we've, that we've had. You can go back 15, 20 years when folks had, rubber doinkers on all the weights and rubber shit everywhere. That's not doing the same thing. Those are not responsive. This is extremely responsive. And so this is not like anything that I've ever seen before, and I've been doing this for a hot minute. So I would really encourage you guys to not sleep on this SOS. There are benefits to it that are far-reaching. Now, are we going to see a Bodie Turner or a Matthias using this? I think they should, and here's why. It helps me miss less tens. Those guys are shooting for inside-out X's, so they have even less room for error. So I would be really curious to see one of those guys play with this and see what they see at the highest level of the highest level. But anyway, that's going to be it. I've taken my time with this. I've put some thought into it. I nerded out finding videos and stuff and other examples for you guys to see, but the technology that involved with this is the real deal. It's not a gimmick. If it was, I'd tell you. I mean, I'd be like, Eric, sorry, bro, but you're selling wolf tickets. They're not. They're not. And so this is one of those things that I can genuinely say, like, look, there's a lot of things out there that you can shoot that will kind of help you because you like it better. And if you like it better, you may shoot better for a minute. But liking it better is one thing. I don't care whether I like it or not. This makes me better. So for me, that's all I care about. And so, I don't put a bunch of hogwash on my stuff. I like to keep it high and tight and only stick with what I know works, and the SOS works. So that's it, folks. I appreciate you guys watching. If you made it through the whole thing, I appreciate you. And I'm sure you can buy the SOS everywhere. I didn't Google it like the site. There was only one place to buy the site, but you can probably buy the SOS everywhere. So just Google ACU Archery SOS. This is the light. The other one I have is the Hunter. It's black and it has a bar on it and stuff. Whatever bow you have, whatever application you have, they have some way to affix it to your bow. I look forward to hearing some of your guys' stories because I know what I've seen, and I know what the guy down at the range here, Donnie Monroe in Klamath Falls, Oregon, who's using the other one right now, I know what he's seen. So that's going to be it, folks. Appreciate you guys. As always, Big GP, the archery nerd, out.